Welcome to this introduction to paraphrasing. This video will cover what paraphrasing is, why it's an important academic skill, and some techniques for how to paraphrase. Paraphrasing, in short, is the action of putting text into your own words. Paraphrasing helps you demonstrate your own understanding of sources and allows you to make connections between sources and your own work. In other words, paraphrasing is explaining or interpreting another author's idea, argument, theory, and more. When paraphrasing, you might restate an author's argument in your own words, you may condense or clarify their points, or you might use their argument to provide credibility to your own points. The most important thing about paraphrasing is that it must demonstrate your understanding of the academic source you're using. Paraphrasing is an essential academic skill because it isn't just reusing another person's work. It is showing your understanding of the original source. You do this through discussing links and connections between the cited work and the point that you are making. The aim is to ensure the reader can grasp broad ideas or arguments without reading the source text, and in doing so, this provides a context for the topic of your work. Comparing and contrasting sources in this way demonstrates you have adopted a critical approach to your reading. When paraphrasing, you must always include a reference to avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is making someone else's ideas look as if they are your own. You must always reference when paraphrasing, even if you are using your own words, because you are still using someone else's ideas. Remember that if you are using direct wording from the original source, you need to use quotation marks. So, we've talked about what paraphrasing is and how it demonstrates critical engagement with your sources. Now, let's look at a tried and tested paraphrasing strategy. Start by rereading the paragraph you want to paraphrase and ensure you fully understand what it means. Remember to check any words you don't recognize. Next, cover or hide the text and rewrite it in your own words. A good idea is to pretend you're explaining the concept to your tutor or classmates. Once you've written it, check what you've written against the original. Make sure that you have addressed the author's ideas in a way that is unique to your writing style and flows with your argument. Make sure you haven't simply replicated the author's ideas by changing words around in their sentences. Remember, you are demonstrating your understanding and critical approach, as well as using another person's idea to make your point. Remember to also add a reference to your paraphrasing. On the screen here, we have an example of a paragraph that we're going to paraphrase. Pause the video here to read through the paragraph. And here, on the screen, we have the original paragraph on the left and an example paraphrasing on the right. Pause the video here to read through the paraphrased version and compare it to the original. Can we say this is a good example of paraphrasing? The red underlines represent synonyms of words used in the original source. The sentence structure is also mirrored. Even though there is a reference, this would be a bad example of paraphrasing. A reference alone doesn't prevent an academic offense. The example on the right doesn't demonstrate an understanding of the text and doesn't show a critical approach to reading. Here on the screen, we have another example of paraphrasing. Pause the video again to read through the example on the right and compare it to the original. In this example, the author has taken the essential ideas and information from the original source, but has worded it in her own way, using unique word choice and sentence structure. The author has condensed Thompson's information by including what is relevant to their paper, but leaving out extra details that are not needed. Demonstrating your ability to understand and critically read academic sources to support your arguments ensures you are making the most of the reading you are doing. Providing accurate references alongside this ensures you are not committing academic offenses, gives proper attribution to fellow researchers, and ultimately prevents you losing marks in your assignments. We have lots more guidance available on plagiarism, referencing, and academic skills. Check the links in the video description for more information. The library website has referencing guidance available, or you can get in touch with Skills for Success for help with academic writing skills. If you have any questions about this video or its contents, please do get in touch with the library. Thank you for watching.